This is Justin AMZN for Friday, May 14th, 2021. Taking a look at the 5 minute here. So we did get kind of the move, one of the moves I was talking about. There were a couple different things that I mentioned could happen. We got the one where we gap up and then do this and kind of go sideways and then keep going up. The keep going up part was pretty low, and the sideways was really, really flat through here. I mean, all of this was just sideways for a couple hours. Um, the run up, like it wasn't, we've had these that actually move up further. I guess the 21 just kind of shows you really how things moved along. The 21 had more of a curve to it, more of a move up and then a flat tiny little dip here and then continue moving up. But even into the close didn't have a big spike either direction, that kind of thing. But there were some really good opportunities to get in through here where it was holding the value. So if we look at the 32.15 call, and specifically this one, because we were kind of hanging out between 3200 and 3225, and the 3225, I mean, you can take a look at it. It gets some value in it, but not enough to have a really significant move. This did though. So this move from like this candle 404, and I saw it around here, looking to get in at 4. It didn't come back down to 4 till over here, and then it shot up, and it very quickly moved from $4 to $12, and that's the 8-hour move. So that 8-hour move happened in about 30, no, how long did that take? Yeah, 35 minutes for 8-hour. So yeah, when you miss those, they sting. When you have the order in for them and you cancel the order after it's been too long not filling, and then it would have filled. Yeah, the setup, what exactly I was looking for with the setup, it it wasn't there anymore, but still where the actual candles were and how it was moving, that still was. So it's one that I've been thinking about since it happened on Friday. But yeah, missed out on that. Missed out on the 8-hour move. Great move right here. But yeah, had the order in for getting in at 4, and a stop at 3 and a target of 12, and it worked great. These other moves didn't. I mean, nothing else all day except for this last little bit. You possibly could have had 450 or maybe even 5 getting in there, getting out at 13, like buying at 5, getting out at 13. That was the high. I don't know if that would have filled here, or getting in at 475. But why 475? I mean, even if you playing off of a pullback entirely to this level, I would have set it up for 4 again. Get in at 4, get out at 12, but it didn't come back down to 4. Anyway, all day long, this put was losing value. There was very little bearish move. I mean, this was a little bit of a pullback here. You had some quicker ones like this, where you had some initial selling, but this actually worked out differently than Thursday. So Thursday gapped up and opened about the same level. So here, let me start back on Wednesday. Open 31.85. Thursday open 31.85.47. Friday open 31.85.56. You see a pattern here? I hope we don't open at 31.50. I can't even say. I hope we don't open at 31.85 on Monday, because that's going to be kind of taking out this candle. This was a really decent candle, and actually played out like a bullish gap and go like this one should have. So this is a bounce. Right here we're bouncing. The last 2 candles, so Thursday and Friday candles, were both bullish gap and goes. Thursdays didn't go, came right back down, turned on a dime. Like I said, the low of Wednesday was 31.33.10, and the low of Thursday was 31.33. So really 10 cents apart. And then they all had opens within $1 of each other, and they just these 2 candles totally played out totally differently. So it was really nice to see the bullishness come in and hold all day long. Really, you could have been buying this. I'm just going to draw the low, trying to connect kind of the lows through here. They don't connect perfectly. Let me see if I can just kind of sketch something in. So they still, they still connect pretty well, like this, all the way. Like we're almost touching here, almost here. Grab these lows until it goes sideways enough that that's not going to work anymore. We're riding kind of some sort of a trend up here, but it was a little bit of a wedge making. Here, let me put that back in, and then if I duplicate it, so this angle didn't hold obviously, so that was a little bit making still higher lows and higher highs, but the higher highs were lower. So this was converging here. And, this is a wedge. So it looks like it's going to break down. Well, it didn't break down. It just went sideways. And that rested enough that at the end of the day, it still had these couple of pops here. This push up right here comes right back to the 21, bounces again. So those are some great moves. The puts were losing value all day long. There's a couple different puts you can look at to see, okay, how's this moving? What's going on? I thought we were going to converge at the 3150 strike. We obviously did not. So this was dropping all day long. It's even hard to just, show the values of these. This one, oops, too far. So the 3125 just didn't have as much premium, not premium, sorry, didn't have as much volume. So it was just harder to really find the right strike until really it honed in on this level right here, right below 3115. I'm sorry, 3215. And when it's right below a strike that it's already been in the money that day, and then has one of these moves, it can really explode. So this, you still could have traded 3225 and just gotten into this. You couldn't quite do absolute zero, getting in for one and a stop at zero. It didn't quite pull down enough. But still, had a little bit of a move. And then over here at the end of the day, it actually gave you that absolute zero play. If you were looking to get into something, get in and out pretty quickly, and just get a little bounce off of the 21. There's no reason it has to work, but in this case it did. So if you just have an order sitting out there, at the last half hour of the day that you're able to watch it. I was not able to watch the market during this portion of the day, so I didn't have an order out, to do something like that in case it were to go, move in between, stay in between my stop of zero and, my target, which still would have been 8. In case it were to stay in between those, unless you're just kind of scalping it, and then you want to have, maybe just, a 2R target. I'm sorry, buy at 1, target at 2. But still, if it doesn't hit the target and it doesn't hit the stop, and you're not able to watch it, don't trade it, because it's going to expire, and it could expire in the money or out of the money. If it's in the money, it's actually worse because you're still in it, and something's going to happen to your account when you let an option expire in the money. If it's out of the money, it's worthless. It's actually a better scenario, and just losing that premium, losing that trade. If you're not able to watch it, I would much rather that happen than get a call from your broker for a margin call saying, you need to put some more money in your account, that kind of thing. That can happen. So anyway, yeah, so some real, we really flattened out on the call option here. So that stretch was only really like this. That's it. Even though we went flat for, hours through here, the option really only flattened out later. And so that's another thing just to watch for. It took out the earlier lows. It was pretty close to this one. This was 450. Still took this out. That's why I actually really liked the opportunity to buy at 4, because it was below these lows. And if it was going to fill, I thought for sure it would run up the 8R. I thought it would do it. And sure enough, it did. without me. So those will come, learn from them, and see, we talked about the daily and what's going on. Okay, so I think we're going to push up a little bit more. That's what I think. We could run into the 21. I think that's a pretty easy target at this point. We're pretty even, a little bit under where we were, Tuesday. So Tuesday last week. So I think we could push back up to the 21, which would be kind of back up at the high of where we were last Monday. Now we're still at this point, kind of thinking of this as maybe a double top, but it's still a little strange shape because this is much higher second top than the first top. But if this is some sort of a neckline here going across, we could keep running up. I guess I would like to see 3166, I'm sorry, 3366. That would come back into this gap and potentially close this gap here. Now the low is 3372.70. And we've got a zone here of, nope, not that one. Is it back out here? Oop, nope, right there. So we got this line at 3366.80. So if there's any bullishness that's going to continue, so if there's some rallying in here, 2 bullish gap and goes in a row. So when we get some rallying, I think there's a chance we can come all the way back up to this red line here. But I've got my eyes set on 32.75-ish first. It's going to be back up between the red and the blue here. And it's going to trap some more bears. If this turns into some sort of a support zone again, which it's been something like that, like these 2 red lines has been just this support or resistance zone. So if we get back up into that and back up to the top of it and then roll over, it's still acting as a resistance zone. It was acting as a resistance zone when we broke through this level and came down here. But any of these lines, they can switch between being support or resistance. This one played out as nice support all this last week. And now we're bouncing off of it. So this is kind of like a triple bottom, something like that, where we've touched it 3 individual days. But it got really choppy. Like all of this got really choppy through here. I've got this really small. Let me zoom out here and let's switch over to hourly. See how this starts to look. So this looks more like kind of a triple top, or at least like a double bottom here. And then this is kind of retesting your neckline. Like it's really spot on. So this is a little bit of a flag on the neckline and it's starting to break out, starting to bounce. So if we continue, then that'll mean that this was a double bottom and we've got some resistances ahead, some selling. This line right at 32.48, that's an easy place for some bears, to try and sell it and some bulls to exit. So we'll see if it gets a little bit more of a dip or sideways here. But I guess I would like to see it go up a little bit higher. If it doesn't, then that's going to mean this really did work out to be a bigger triangle here. All of this, where I guess even this is where it broke down. So all of this, if you consider all the way back to the all-time high as being kind of lower highs. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So lower highs all through here like this. And we just started breaking that over here, so I don't know if that was clear. What I'm seeing. There we go. So we've been making lower highs all through here, and now we've just gotten above that for the first time. So since then, we're a little bit away from here, a little bit away from here, a little bit away from here, touched here. This isn't exact by any means, but we're above it now, or at least sideways from some of this. So we'll see if there's any more strength that comes in, and if this does really mean something's turning, so something's changing. But don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. Hope this helps. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.